Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and thanks to the RIU for another opportunity to update delegates on Metgasco's journey in the last 7 years since I've been the CEO MD of the company. Particularly, I wasn't here last year, so similar to Matthew, so I'm looking forward to going through what we've been up to. And you can see the theme of my presentation is two gas fields producing into an undersupplied Eastern Australia market. So it's good to be a producer, but I'll talk later about some of the things that we're doing on the production front to optimize things. Please have a look at that notice and disclaimer at your leisure. So who are Metgasco? What are we doing? So we've got operations in the onshore Cooper-Eromanga Basin. Metgasco own a 25% stake in these assets. They're operated by Vintage Energy, and Vintage aren't here this year, so you won't hear the story twice, which is a good thing. So it's a proven address for gas. We've been in production for a couple of years, 2.5 years or so, and we've got significant infrastructure nearby, so we didn't have to build a gas plant. We're producing through Moomba. We're currently producing raw gas rate of about 3 terajoules a day. And as I said, the gas is processed at Moomba and sold to the two customers that you can see on the bottom right of the slide, so two blue chip customers. Net production in financial year 25 was 0.2 petajoules equivalent, and the revenue generated was about 2.3 million. Okay, so this is really covering the agenda. I haven't been here for a couple of years. I'll talk about Valley and just introduce that for those who don't know about it in Odin. Also, we got a 45% increase in 2P reserves last year, so I'll mention that as well. We're doing some production optimization in the field. It's called the Production Uplift Program, and I'll go through that. And also, we've got some shallow oil prospects, Jurassic oil prospects. So we're not a one-trick pony just with the Permian gas story. And we're interested to hear anybody that might be interested in sizable oil onshore prospects. So Valley, yeah, we've drilled 3 wells. The discovery well was drilled just before COVID outbreak and brought online at 4 million standard cubic feet a day. It was a Patchawarra fracked stimulated zone. So we've got 3 wells, Valley 2 and Valley 3 as well, that were drilled in 2021. Valley 1 is performing very reliably on natural decline. It started about 4 and has now come down to about 500,000 standard cubic feet a day. The plant uptime, and you can see the plant here in the slide, it's a minimal plant, a separator and some wellhead facilities, but the plant uptime is 95%. So you've got to have good uptime and good wells, and you'll make some money. Valley 2 and 3 have been the bad actors in the Patchawarra. We did exactly the same stimulation on Valley 2 and 3, but we got some fluid, some water with the gas. And I'll talk about later how we're trying to get some gas out of the upper zone, the Talachi zone, which is also a Permian zone. So it's good to have diversification, as Matthew said. So the Odin gas field, it's been on production for 2 years, and we've got 2 wells. And you can see the schematic cross-section in the top right there. Odin 1 was brought online in September 2023, and Odin 2 in October 2024. Odin 1 production, strangely, declined a little bit more than it started, about 5 or 6 million standard cubic feet a day, with a very good Epsilon zone and Talachi zone, and then we've added the Patchawarra 12 months ago. It was coming off a little bit higher than we thought. We suspected something going on downhole, and in fact what we found was some scale downhole when we ran some slick line into the well, where it hung up just above the packer. So what is scale? It's a solid mineral deposit due to the participation of inorganic salts. There's different types of scale. And Odin 1 had predominantly calcium carbonate scale. So 12 months ago, we put down some acetic acid, and Santos do that very regularly as well. And we doubled the production, took it back up to where the model was estimating a year ago it was back up to 3 million standard cubic feet a day. And I'll come back to what we're doing on Odin 1 and Odin 2 on the production optimization. You can see the pictures of scale, and you may say, what is scale? That's what it looks like, but if you've got a shower at home and you've got a particular type of water, it does scale and stop it generally occurs where there's a pressure drop. We've been getting it a little bit in the surface pipeline. You can see a picture of that in the bottom right as well. So we've got something called a hub and spoke strategy. Most of you in the oil and gas business will know what that is. I'll do a quick explanation. You put your hub in, and we've got the Valley Production Hub, which includes the pipeline. On the right-hand side, you can see the 8-10 kilometre pipeline going from the Valley field down to the Beckler, the Santos Beckler field. And once you've put that hub in, which we did with the Valley 1 discovery, Valley 2 and 3, then any new exploration discovery, and there are some prospects that you can see on the map, then that improves the commerciality of these exploration prospects, whether they're gas or oil. Easier if it's gas, but we've got people in the field, we've got the infrastructure there. And Odin 2 was a very good example of that hub and spoke. We drilled that in May and June last year. There was then sort of quite a lot of flooding, and we still got the well online in October 2024. We reckon we could have done that in 2.5 months, and that's because of the infrastructure there, and Odin was tied into the Valley Beckler pipeline. So looking at reserves, we did an independent study of the reserves last year. These are financial year 24 reserves. And as I said, we've produced just over a petajoule of gas this year. So 2P reserves of net 36.55, that's petajoules equivalent. And it's made up, you can see, predominantly in Valley. And Odin, which is a conventional reservoir, is about 10.7 of sales gas. The reason for the 45% increase was the fact that we converted the contingent resource into reserve, and that was good news. We actually did that. We should have done that a little bit earlier, but we drilled Odin 2, we did the reserve study, and we got the reserve. So the interesting thing here is that we've got 2 gas contracts, and you can see with Ongi for Pelican Point Power Station in South Australia and AGL. And you can see we've got the long-term contracts through to December 26. But beyond that, we've got 30 petajoules of gas reserve, which is uncontracted. And that's so there's a lot of gas in the ground. I won't dwell on this slide, but this is the ACCC version of the same slide that's been shown since the first presentation this morning. Interestingly, they map around about 2027, 28, when we'll be recontracting. We'll start the recontracting efforts on our gas sales agreements probably in the middle of next year, or maybe sooner. So it's a good time to have some gas and be able to sell it into the market because of that supply-demand gap. So I'll talk a little bit more about the production uplift program, which is the optimization of the wells. So the goal is, to optimize production in a low-cost through-tubing campaign, which is mainly wireline, reperforating, acids, washes, etc. So we're investigating removing scale and where we find it in all Odin and Valley wells to improve gas flow rate and cash flow. We want to initiate and improve the Talachi gas flow from rate in the Valley, all the Valley wells, which is the upper zone above the Patchawarra. So the work program is as laid out on the slide, and the objectives were basically increasing flow. So we have done, the next slide, we've done phase 1 of the program. And the results, unfortunately, we had, after the flooding this year in the basin, there's been a high demand for contractors. And our joint venture, having some of the smaller players, the contractors have done their best, but they have commitments for the larger organizations. So it's split into 2 phases. The first phase program took place in July and August, and it's partially complete. So we put in a slightly different scale dissolver this time, because we saw two different types of scale. We thought there was some barium sulfate scale as well as calcium carbonate. That has worked. It's given us a 16% increase in the Odin gas wells, and it's something that we'll be doing every so often. So we brought the production up to 2.4 million standard cubic feet a day from both wells. The first phase of the results in Valley, we started the work. We reperforated Valley 3, and we started the preparation for Valley 2 as well. Valley 1, we opened the sleeve, didn't flow. We think that there's scale that's been formed by the drilling fluid, a mixture of the bore fluid and the formation water, and so we're going to pump some scale dissolver into Valley 1 Talachi to get that back, to get it initiated to flow. So in the next 2 to 3 weeks, subject to the equipment getting to the field, we'll have the results of phase 2 of the uplift project. So there is other opportunities in ATP 2021. You can see here there's the Thaldra oil prospect, which is on the ATP 2021 map. This is a highly prospective area for oil. The Dalangari field had 11 million barrels of oil in it. The beauty of the Jurassic oil is how shallow it is. A lot cheaper wells to drill, and it's about a couple of 1,800 to 2,000 meters rather than going down to 3,200 meters. So we see a big prospectivity. There's 3D over Thaldra. It just sits above Valley, and there's also a prospect right down to the bottom of the where it goes down towards Epsilon. There's a prospect called Altar, which also has 3D over it. So we are open to discussions. Vintage as the operator and ourselves and the JV are looking for somebody to come in and help us drill this one of these 3D defined oil prospects, and they're quite sizable with about 1 million barrels recovery. So we'd certainly be, with the production hub, a valuable addition to our gas production. So the final slide for me, I'm ahead of time here looking at the countdown of 2 minutes, but so Metgasco has done the hard yards. It's put in its production hub. It's a partner in gas reservoirs that are being pushed through to the market, and we certainly have a lot of potential going forward. We're very much undervalued. If you look at our enterprise value right now, it's about 8.8 million. You take our reserves at 36.5, then it's about 24.3 cents a gigajoule. So overall, with the uncontracted gas we have, the exposure to East Coast gas markets, we feel that we're hugely undervalued. We've come into production, and we hope the story resonates with the investors out there or anybody else who wants to join in our journey. So we are doing a strategic review of the business operation and the growth potential of the business. So if you've got any interest, just come to the booth outside. But thank you very much for the opportunity.